We are out here at Project 61 in Sullivan, Illinois, and we will be talking with Jason Beachy and his family about the mission here. We're excited to share with you. We know that hearing more about this project is going to make a huge impact in this community.
And one of the biggest things that I've learned is just cultivating a love and a heart for people, especially people in hard situations. People have a hard time understanding the mothers and families that lose their children, and they don't understand they're not bad people. They're just in tough situations, and a lot of us would react the same way in those situations. And just to have a love and an understanding for the people around you. I want every single person that walks into this building just to feel love. You step inside and you just feel God's love around you.
In 2016, we got married, and within 4 months of being married, we went to Asia for 4 months, attended a Bible college, and through that, a heart for missions was born. We came back and moved into Lovington. We thought God was going to have some great ministry that we're going to be a part of, and children was kind of our passion. So we started trying to figure out where God's leading, and nothing seemed to work out, but there was a neighbor kid that would come over and ask for snacks. And just through that, we told him one night a week, we'll be home, you can bring your friends. And a children's ministry was born out of that. So Pathways Children's Ministry in Lovington was born through that heart for children. We were able to do some foster care and started to see the need for support for mothers and children, especially teens and pregnant women that don't have a support system to help them with their babies. We started to pray about what's God going to have us do with it. At the same time, my father-in-law, Merv, was helping my brother with drug addiction, and he was wanting to go to a place to get some help, and nowhere could take him. So he started praying about, God, what do you have for me? And the two united in Project 61 Ministries. And I believe it was a God thing. He agreed to donate this property for Project 61 Ministries. And so through that, our goal is to support women and children, especially women in crisis and women that are at risk of losing their children through DCFS, and we want to work closely with DCFS. We've already had several caseworkers reach out, seeing if we'd have available rooms. Eventually, we want to help teens and those that are caught in addiction, as well as pregnant women, help them with doctor's appointments and just give them a support, a community support. Our vision is that this will be a community project. It's not a one church project, one denomination project. We want it to be a community project for the community, by the community, and ultimately let Jesus be known here.
We're hoping to have a men's wing as well eventually. We're starting off with the women and children. That's our heart for the women and children. And it's just so often that we've seen where they don't have that community support. So you might have a teen that's pregnant or a young mom, and she doesn't have that community, she doesn't have that support. And so things just kind of go downhill until eventually she gets to the point where the children need to be removed from the home. And all that could have been prevented if she would have just had some help and intervention at the beginning of it. So that's our heart's cry with the House of Ruth, is just to be able to provide that support, provide that stable, safe housing where there is peace, where there is love, where there is help available and support, and just coming around them with that community.
So they'll be required to take classes and go through a program. We'll help them find a job, find support, find a place. Our goal is for them not to stay here, but to be more of a transition, for them to get on their feet, find stability, and then walk with them as they go back into having their own home, and support them with their children, keeping them together, and help them with money management, learning to budget, just practical life skills as well.
Parenting classes, helping them with childcare.
Even after they leave, if they need childcare, we want to be able to provide something for them. We don't know exactly how that looks yet, but if they're going to a job, they're going to need a place to go with their children. So we want to be able to support them in that as well.
And the goal is, I know we can't fix all the problems. We can't fix people. You can't, but you can offer hope, and you can offer the opportunity. And then it's up to people to do the hard work. Of the actual changing lives.
We can't do a wait list right now because we don't even know when our first building will be open. There's multiple roofs to fix. We have to redo the entire heat system because they were using hot water and steam. So we're removing all of that, using electric heat, new ACs in most of the buildings, a lot of renovation that has to happen. The rooms themselves, they are still nice. Yeah. We can basically clean them, fix a few things here and there, and use them. I'm hoping by the end of the year that we can open the doors. It may be the beginning of next year. I'm the ever optimist, so my goal would be 4 months. I don't think that'll happen, but if by the end of the year we can open a few rooms, I would be happy.
And along with that, we're trying our best to create programs to get the community involved and utilize the different giftings that God has given people. So to have an adopt an apartment room or a program, so women can come in and choose an apartment, and then it's their job to furnish that apartment, to decorate that apartment, paint it, and basically renovate that apartment. And they get to choose how they do it and make it, homey for the women coming in. So 15 apartments, 8 of them are adopted, so we've got 7 more to go. And we have adopt a flower flower bed, or the women that love gardening can come and adopt a flower bed just to help the place look beautiful. Then it's their job to take care of it and the upkeep of the flower bed. And so it's been a blessing to see the different giftings that women have, or even the men that come and help.
We've had groups come in and cut down trees and cut them up and haul them off. We've had groups come in and tear off old roofs, and then 57 come in and put a new roof on. Groups have come in, the last 2 nights we had groups here getting ready for a rummage sale, and they're just going in and hauling out things that are either junk or valuable and separating them and putting them on the wagons to get ready for the rummage sale. So it's been amazing how many different churches already have stepped up and said, hey, we want to help, what can we do? There are so many projects that if someone wants to help, we'll find a way. Yeah, we've had people that say, hey, I'll help if you ever need it. In fact, one was just this week. Someone had told me, if you ever need help, let me know. And on Saturday, I discovered I don't have enough guys for the setting trusses. So I called him Saturday afternoon. He said, I'll be there Monday morning. And he just showed up and helped for a couple hours. There's always something to do. If you're interested in volunteering or contributing in some way, please contact myself, Jason, or Carol through either phone, text, email, social media. Reach out on social media. We have Instagram and Facebook. We have a website. So any of those platforms. Right now we have the administrator. We have a board. I'm the administrator and assistant administrator, or maybe the administrator and assistant administrator. We have a lady that's volunteering her time to get our office ready, administration building, and I think she'll probably be our secretary. And then we have a full-time lawn care and a full-time maintenance man. The community has really stepped up and been very supportive. My father-in-law came up with the idea of a partnership or sponsorship where people can basically sign up to once a month, they'll give so much, and it's automatically withdrawn from their account, and that has been a large part of funding the place.
Our goal would be, we'd like to have 500 $10 sponsors by the end of the year.
$10 a month.
$10 a month, yeah. So you can sign up to, $10 a month, gets taken out of your bank account, comes to Project 61. And if you have 500 people sign up for that, that's $5,000 a month for someone that's just willing to give $10.
It's like 2 coffee drinks. it almost feels like people, and I do the same thing. If I can't give a lot, I don't want to give anything. So like if I can't do at least $100 a month, it's not worth it. Even if you have $10, God can use that. Just a really cool story. We've had so many God moments, like things that we were needing mowers here. The one that sold us the mowers discounted them quite a bit, and we decided to buy 2 brand new mowers. That way we have good mowers. I told him on Thursday or Friday that, yeah, we'll take these mowers. And on Monday he called me and said they were taken care of over the weekend, they're yours for free. Just so many of those where people have just stepped in, or God has stepped in, and just God moments. And
it's not our project. It is God's project, and it's up to God to provide it, We're gonna do the next thing and keep going, and God will be there.
When I called Greg about this place, all I wanted was one little building. Like the smallest building here, I was asking him if we could just use it, rent it somehow or something, and I didn't even know how we're gonna afford it. But I really felt like God was asking us to call him. And I just said, well, God, if you give us the building, you have to provide the funds and the staff, because we don't really have anything. And he did. Like it went from, I asked for a small piece of the building, and he said, well, it'd be a good tax write-off for me, and I'd love to donate the entire property. So it went from me wondering, how do we afford a small piece of the building, to here's the whole place. And if God can take that, he can take care of everything else here. One of the questions we get a lot is, who gets to stay? Our focus is not the entire country. There's been some misconceptions that this is going to be for illegal immigrants, or we're going to bring people down from Chicago. That's not our focus. Our focus would be the local community. Obviously, if we have the room and someone from outside the community needs a place, we'll take them. But our immediate focus would be this community, this county, and the surrounding counties. That's what we're focused on right now. And if God sends others, we'll take them.
Those living in a 50-mile radius would get priority.
So behind me, we have the House of Ruth, which is the first building we're working on. And actually, one of the first things we did when we got possession is we went through and looked at some of the roofs. And there was one building that you could stand in a room and look out and see the sky, because the roof had fallen in. And Marcus, who is Carol's cousin, I knew that they do roofs, and I appreciated their work. So I called him and I was like, hey, we got a big project. You want to come down and look at it? And within a couple days, he was down here and had put synthetic felt across the holes, and just to keep the water out for the winter. And then when we took possession in March, we were working with I-57, and if we've been working with them, they did a fantastic job on the standing seam, and it looks really good. But it's been good to work with them, and they've been really easy to work with. We've really appreciated their support in the project. I've had people comment all the time saying that they would have never thought of putting black metal on a brick building like that, but They really like it, and I really like it. I think it really pops. But House of Ruth is the first building we're starting with, and it already has apartments in it. They have a little kitchenette, bathroom, and some of them are 1 bedroom, some of them are 2 bedroom, and then just a little living area, all in 1 room. And those are primarily for women and children.
We really, really have a heart for the teens and are hoping to be able to find a way to be able to accept teens here and work with teens, but obviously that's going to have to look a little bit different than the adults.
So these buildings are all connected by hallways, but we do take security seriously, and we know that there's a lot of people that are concerned about the security, especially residents that are living here. There'll be cameras on the property, there'll be cameras in the buildings where allowed, obviously. Each building will get its own security doors. So this building will have security on, every door will be locked, and a resident will get a fob when they show up, and only they will be allowed in, and certain staff will be allowed in.
We have a great relationship with the local police department as well. So they drive through, especially in the evenings, they have their rounds, keep everything checked. So yeah, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I've learned is just God loves people, and He calls us to love people. He doesn't call us to fix people. He doesn't call us to be their savior. It's an atmosphere of peace and love is my heart's cry.
So one of the questions we get is, what credentials do you have? And we believe it takes a village, so we don't have the credentials to do everything. And we have a board that is very knowledgeable. We have access to people that do have the credentials and counselors that want to help us, people with doctorates and things that understand better than we do. So our job as administrator is just to pull those people together and create a team that knows what they're doing to work with each situation.
And we can all come together and utilize those gifts, and it makes a really beautiful thing.